Okay, hello YouTubers. It's Christy, Chris, Cat, whatever you want to call me. Okay, so I already did this once, but it was 45 minutes long, and I figured that was just a ridiculous amount of time. YouTube was having quite the fit trying to upload it. So, what I'm going to be doing today is showing you my lovely, actually it's this way, Gelli Arts gel printing plate. I don't know if you can see that with any of the glare going on, so, oh, this is a booklet too, I didn't realize. So, okay. So, the thing is baby wipes, products, mild soap and water. Okay, that's good to know. How to clean it with mild soap and water or baby wipes or alcohol gel. I usually use baby wipes. That's what I was using for my homemade one, so I got some cheapo stuff and put it in a baby wipes container. And there you go. Got me a little sippy. Just like Miss Bunny. So what I'm going to do is embellish some of these that I had made in the first video that now you guys don't see. But I had gotten some new stencils. 3 of them I do believe were by Donna Downey. And 2 were by, I think it was just istencils.com. And then 1 I actually got for free, and I actually might incorporate that into some of these. But these are the backgrounds, and I was thinking that, you know, and I think some of these came out really awesome. But I will be able to cut some of them up for like the base of the card and maybe just leave it at that. Maybe like these ones. Or these ones will be like little embellishments or backgrounds. And these will also probably be their own as opposed to the little dendritic prints that I got on one of my other videos that I'm pretty sure I'll be able to just make into, say, like an ornament or something. I've also got these prints that I can cut up that I had done quite a while ago. I didn't make a video of them, but these are the dendritic prints that I got, and I figure, not these, but these are some of the prints that I've gotten with other projects, or sessions I should say. And then with these I could probably make them into strips. These I can probably actually cut out with just circles and, you know, act like, oh look, it's an ornament on a tree. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have one cohesive thought for my cards this year. Sometimes I try to do a theme so that way I can just act like, you know, factory, just, you know, what do you call it? Yeah, line them all up and just chuck them out, get them all done. But this year I'm all about the jelly printing, so I figured I would do that and see what I can do. So what I'm going to try to do this time, since I already got the backgrounds done, is look for the black, which is right here, and do some black stuff. This one I got for free from istencils.com. I remember looking at it and I'm like, I didn't order that, but it says right here, as a thank you for your order, enjoy this free stencil. I was like, oh, okay, thanks, cool. So I figured that is a perfect time to actually use up something that I got for free, and it's Christmas themed, appropriately so. And I figure I might do some more of this on some of those other backgrounds in either red, white, or green to add layers, and then do something like this or something else in black, and then otherwise just call it a day. And then on the finishing touches, when I go to make the card, I can do just some sayings and just leave it at that. So let's get my legit jelly plate all gooped up with black and see what I can mess up. If you've seen my other videos, and I've only got a couple, but if you've seen them, it's probably pretty obvious that I'm a beginner, and yes, I am working on a dirty plate, and I kind of like that look. I've come to find when I'm watching others or when I'm doing my own, you know, I literally actually like the these ones where, you know, literally you don't clean it off and you get all these cool colors from previous plates that you've made, and I actually like it, but that's just me. So I'm going to make it how I want to make it. And I didn't finish off his face. This poor little guy doesn't even have a face. Let's see what we can do here to mess it up further. So sorry for all of the background noise. My baby son, I didn't even get his eyes in there still. Oh well, I can always do something about that. My little baby son, he is 20 months old, just turned 20 months on the 12th. He is in the other room playing. My father-in-law is out mowing the lawn, and so are the neighbors, because it actually feels decent here in Ohio right now. And so I hear we're going to be getting snow this weekend. The dreaded S word. Ugh, his face just keeps coming out like little, barely penciled in. It's really weird. But it was free, so I don't care. But yeah, the dreaded S word. It's such an offensive word in my opinion. I hate snow. I really do. Yes, I live in Ohio and I hate snow. And I was born in December. Yet, I freaking hate snow. So, yeah, it turns out I'm just gonna have to go get my son some little snow boots and start playing in the snow with him. I really hate it though, because I mean you start getting, your feet start getting soggy after a while. You've been in the snow long enough, and it just, I don't know, I hate it. It's not as fun as they make it out to be. I don't know. I'd rather be on the beach. I don't like hot weather necessarily. I like it nice and coolish warm. But, see, I'm just not pressing around here long enough or something. But I can fix that. So yeah, in my opinion, Ohio weather sucks. There are some people that like this kind of weather. They love being messed up every other day and having their sinuses, you know, fall apart on them simply because the weather can't decide what it wants to do. But, you know, whatever. Okay, I'll do a little more of a snowman guy as a focal, because I think I've got a couple that I know will make good backgrounds for simply a snowman, like this one. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, here it is. But yeah, anyway. So, story of my life. You know. But at least I'm working that day, so that kind of helps. This Saturday, we're supposed to, it's supposed to drop, it's supposed to flurry. And I say thank goodness I'm working that day, because it's always when I'm off when the weather sucks. Except for today and yesterday. I don't know. But, okay, so maybe I'm exaggerating. But still, it feels like a lot of the time the weather absolutely sucks when I'm off. And it's beautiful when I'm working. Now, I'd be able to pull this off without totally messing up. So yeah, you'll hear baby toy music in the background and probably some screeching and hollering from my little baby H. over where I think his face is. And, I'm just not getting that nose and mouth area. Oh well. So, yeah, that's what's been going on with me. Not that anybody cares. It's not like I have a whole fan following or anything yet, but, how am I gonna do this? How am I going to do this? The, last 2 YouTube channels I had, though, they had quite a few, subscribers, but I mean, it's not like I had people in droves asking me to do things. Last time I had a true request was Sigrid Soto. So, and that was when I haven't really done anything for eons. Well, now his face is coming in. Look at that. Lord. But, I can always fussy cut around him and something like that and pop him on a white background card or something like that. Oh, I'll figure it out. But, school bus, I think, out there. Don't mind that. I have the doors open so that way the warmth in this house can be kind of dispelled because it was so warm in here it was almost oppressive. I wanted some fresh air from outside before it starts getting really cold again. And then I won't have any warmth. He is just giving me a time. No face again. Like I said, I can always fix that. I'll lay it right back over and get in there with a little sponge or something. Okay, so let's try. To ruin my counter. Okay, so. So the other thing I wanted to try to do was actually do some white or something. Don't mind him. He's not possessed, I swear. He just likes making those kinds of weird noises. He can barely speak English, much less Latin or some other language he's never been taught. So yeah, this is my new plate, and what I did with my homemade one is I cut it up wherever it went. I would show you. Oh, here it is. Cut it up. I have a rectangular one now and a circular one, and I tried the whole putting it on a spinny thing. I don't have a cake making spinny thing. I have a couple dollar Lazy Susan from, I think, Walmart, or maybe what we have here in Ohio, Michigan, and Kentucky, and Indiana, and I think another place, maybe Pennsylvania, is Meyer. I think that's where technically I got it. And I didn't really take the tiers apart. I just kept them two-tiered and spun it, and I made some pretty cool prints. I mean, I might make another video with a little show and tell, not a show off, because I don't like being a show off. I don't like show offs. It's not about showing off, it's about sharing your art, in my opinion, and I love art nowadays. I mean, usually, I used to be a scrapbooker, then I would make Christmas cards, then I started doing jewelry and making charms for, like, mini albums, and then I was like, ooh, cool, jewelry making, and doing that. So then I went off on tangent making that, and then I started making, some, what do you call it, paper beads, and then, I went back to card making, and, just, I've done all sorts of things, technically, in the field of just arting. So now I'm back to card making, just because it's the season for making cards, and I don't get cards anymore. For some odd reason, 99.9% of the people I know just don't do that anymore. They're stuck on the internet. They don't think to give cards to people. I was raised that it was the polite thing to do. You send Christmas cards. It's what you do. to friends and family mostly. Well, sippy, sippy. And I find it completely rude that majority of the people out there these days don't do that anymore. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's a pet peeve, and I just wish people would kind of get their heads out of the clouds and think of other people for 5 minutes and think, you know, that maybe they'd like to hear from you for the holidays, you know, and not just on Facebook. They'd like to hear from you and have something to put on their mantles, something to create memories, you know, something to say, hey, how you doing, Merry Christmas, even if it takes you 5 minutes to 10 minutes to address the envelopes, much less to actually write your name and just say XOXO and write the year or something. I always write the year. That's just what my dad used to do. Here, I'm going to flip it to the way I'm looking at it. That's pretty. Kind of busy, but, you know, I like the busy backgrounds. I'm weird. But, yeah, people just don't do it anymore, and I get butthurt over it. I know it's weird, but I really do, because, like I said, I was raised to believe that it was the polite thing to do. And now, since people don't do it at all, I'm kind of like, okay, so essentially you're being not polite. Wow, that totally obliterated everything in the background. Oh well. I can always just do it again with some more green. Or just leave it as reddish. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I'm kind of weird like that. I just don't like it that people are just so stuck on the internet. And I get on Facebook, you know, a couple times a day or something, but it's mostly just to see how the people that I actually know are doing. Read up on the news. I mean, yeah, that's a terrible source to get my news, but I usually do the local news and see what's going on in the world, and then I get right back off again. I've mostly been playing games. I've been playing Sims, what is it called? Build It? So, or SimCity Build It? I don't even know. But, I like games. I really wish I could play video games again, but, you know, with my son, it's hard to do that. So I just hop on my iPad and play that a little bit and relax, watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. That's what I usually do just to relax. And then when I'm completely and utterly wiped, that's all I will do. But when I'm actually awake and wanting to do something, I'll actually sit here and do stuff like this. And that's when he's gone to bed, hubby's gone to bed. I actually like to sit there and have something for me to do and craft, because it is truly a de-stressor for me. And if I didn't have it, I'd go crazy. I have 2 houses, and my second house is technically a storage unit right now because, well, it's definitely pretty dilapidated. We need to renovate or something and figure out what we're doing with it. I don't know if we're going to rent out. We don't know what we're going to do. We really don't. So, looks like the French flag. So, that, I'm just going to do a new one. I'll work on this one. Don't mind our dog. So, pretty much that's the long and short of it. It's a storage unit now, and that's where all of my crafting stuff was for the longest time. And finally, I just got so stressed out. I was like, I need to craft! And I got some stuff out, and I got more stuff, and I got more stuff. And then finally my husband said, okay, apparently I need to get on making that craft area for you that I said I was going to do 2 years ago. But let's do it out here in the living room in case we decide to have another kid. And, here, I'll put it on here. I'll mess it up more. And in case we have another kid, and if it's a girl, they're going to need their own room. So I was like, alright, you're right. That's a little bit better. Okay, I'll just cut this up for embellishments. Embellishments. Word. So, that's where it is. It's out in the living room, which actually is fine with me. I don't care where it is, to be completely honest. Okay, paint is getting all over this. I don't care where it is. Just so long as I have a space of my own, because if I didn't have this, I would be going absolutely batty. Whoa, I'm picking up some paint off of the roller. Black paint off the roller. I would be going absolutely batty if I didn't have something. And don't nobody want a crazy batty woman all in their face just because they haven't crafted for the day. It's just, you know, woohoo! A lady can go crazy if she doesn't have something to de-stress. Because trust me, I only work 5 times in a 2-week period, and to be completely honest, I like the break. I love my son, do not get me wrong, but Mama needs a break. And it is a welcome break, and then by the time I'm done with work, I am very, very glad to be back home. I work Monday, and then I work Saturday and Sunday. And then next week I'll work Thursday and Friday, and then I'll work Monday, and then Saturday and Sunday again. So that's my pattern. I work at a wow, I don't know where that came from. I work at a hospice in the state. I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to promote nor degrade them. They are a lovely place to work for. I absolutely love it personally. There's been some problems, but there are problems everywhere, and so our staffing is all kinds of off. Maybe that's why people don't like to use magazine pages. Look at this. I'm getting text, but I kind of like it. So, but yeah, our staffing is all kind of wonky, but I like it. I've worked in 2 nursing homes, 4 years each, and to me, hospice is a welcome break from the daily grind, day in and day out of some people that take advantage of you. Can you reach me my pop? Can you reach me my remote? And they clearly can get it. They're just being lazy. Ooh. They literally are being lazy, and that's not being rude. Like, literally they are. They're being very, what do you want to call it? They're taking advantage of the goodness out of some people's hearts. And they're not thinking about the impact that they're making on the people that are working there. And all it did was stress me out when I worked in nursing homes. And finally, I kept looking at the patients that were passing around me. And hospice would come in when they were really bad off, and they couldn't yet control their pain or their other symptoms. So hospice would come in. We'd help them out. That's pretty much what we were there for. And then they would leave once the person's pain and all those symptoms got managed. And then we'd still end up, you know, taking care of them. I was going to do that. Ooh. This is no longer Christmassy stuff, but I'm going to do it anyway because I like these colors. But yeah, we'd end up taking care of them anyway. And I was looking at them and I'm like, I could do this. Like, seriously, my mom passed, my dad passed in 2011, I had an aunt that passed, my grandma passed, I had an uncle who just passed a couple years ago. I mean, half of my family is gone. Like, literally. At least the elder ones. And what hurt the most was my mom passing. I was so close to her. She was the biggest, not influence, but supportive person in my life, and I no longer have her. The other biggest person that I have in my life that is the most supportive is my husband. And it's just, I want my mommy. That's all I can say. I want my mommy. But I don't know anyone who doesn't want their mommy unless they're a victim of abuse, and then, well, then who wants their mommy? So, yeah, story of my life. So, I feel as though, wow, this is really pulling off. I feel as though I can really help people going through the dying process with their families, and I know this is a depressing subject, but seriously, people really, 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 really need to talk about the dying process. And I don't mean that by the dying process, actually. What I mean is, they need to talk about their wishes. They need to talk about what it is that they want to do with their funeral, with their, you know, belongings, with their fortunes that they have amassed over the years. If they have amassed any fortunes. There we go. There's a simple one that I can build on. There. So, that's what I do day in and day out. And while it is a good break, it's also a stressful break in its own way. Because while I love my job, there are a lot of things that you see that are really depressing. Because it's hospice. And I'll get into that in some more videos because I really actually want to educate the public about hospice. And I had meant to turn on the timer so I don't go 45 minutes over. I think I'm almost done with this video. But I want to talk about hospice because I think many people, for one, are being misled by people who don't understand it or have had a bad experience. What am I doing? Or what it is that they are, I'll do a different one. They are being misinformed just by the public that haven't been there. Like, literally, they haven't been there yet. They think they have something to say, like, morphine kills you, and, you know, da-da-da-da. I'll go into that in a video all by itself. I really will. Because I think people need to realize hospice is there to make you comfortable, so when you pass, you're not in suffering and distress and just a lot of pain, or you can't breathe. Ooh. So that's what hospice is actually there for, and that's what I do. And so, no, it's not easy. Yes, it's slightly depressing for some people, but I don't mean to sound callous, but I am. I'm used to it. Not callous, I am used to it. So, that's looking better. So, yeah. That's what I do for a living. And I love it, actually. I actually feel like I have something that I can give back to people. And I have a purpose in the world. I'm just a nurse aide, and I know people should say, never say you're just a nurse aide. You actually do a lot. What I'm saying is knowledge speaking. I don't know a lot. I learn a lot from my nurses, though. And I don't plan to go back to school for anything. Maybe I'll go for hospice and palliative nursing. But that's about it. And, I don't know, if I am able to stay in hospice for the rest of my life, I will gladly do that. I will gladly forego audio video for something that has meaning, like hospice, and, help people. So, I don't know. I think that's going to be it for the day. I'm going to go on and clean this up and see what I can do about some of these other prints. But, anywho, that took a very interesting turn. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing. And, especially if you want to hear about hospice, go on and subscribe. I do plan on making videos, talking hands. I do plan on making videos so that way I can explain to the public what hospice is and what it actually means and what it entails, and maybe even go into some aspects and some terminology, so that way people actually going through that experience right now, if they feel weird about asking the people there that work there, they can learn about it without having to come out and ask and get that information face to face. Because I know when my mom was passing, it was very awkward, and I didn't know how to ask those hard-hitting questions of what am I seeing, why is she acting this way, you know, just all the ins and outs. And now that I'm a nurse aide in hospice, I understand what I had been seeing back then in 2003 when she passed. So, yeah. Anywho, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to hear about hospice. and I will be explaining that, and I'll be right back because I plan on showing some twisted fibers, which I had deleted from my other channel because I had music that apparently they didn't appreciate me having on it, and yet trying to monetize it, so I'm gonna do it again. So thanks for watching. Bye.